The room was too bright. Kate Morrison squinted against the harsh white light that seemed to come from every surface at once. Her hands were locked to the metal table in front of her, and her armor felt heavier than it should. The chest piece was dented, scorched black in places and covered with dark purple stains that had dried into crusty patches. She could smell the sharp, bitter scent of alien blood mixed with the burned metal smell of her own damaged suit. 3 figures stood around her in a loose circle. They were not human. The tallest one looked like it was made of dark red stone, standing at least 8 feet tall with 4 arms and a face that reminded Kate of an angry lizard. Its eyes glowed a dull orange color. This was a Kreth warrior she knew from her training. They were supposed to be honorable fighters, but this one looked ready to tear her apart. The second alien was smaller and stranger. It had 6 thin arms that moved constantly, never staying still. Its body was covered in smooth gray skin that reflected the light like wet rubber. Multiple black eyes dotted its head in a cluster. All of them focused on Kate, a Vaxian intelligence officer. They were known for being suspicious of everyone and everything. The third one was the most unusual. It looked like someone had carved a person out of pure blue crystal. Light passed through its body and broke into rainbow colors on the walls. It had no face that Kate could understand, just smooth surfaces that somehow conveyed coldness and authority. The Zorathian commander made a sound like wind chimes when it moved. Kate kept her face blank and her mouth shut. She had been sitting here for what felt like hours, though it was probably less than that. Her internal clock had stopped working when her armor took damage. The aliens had been asking questions in rotating shifts, their translators turning their alien languages into words she could understand. "Tell us again how you got on this ship," the Kreth warrior said. Its voice came out as a deep rumble that made Kate's bones vibrate. The translator on its chest turned the sounds into flat, emotionless words. "Tell us why you killed our people." Kate said nothing. She had already told them nothing. Speaking would only make things worse. The Vaxian moved closer, its many arms gesturing in patterns Kate did not understand. "Your silence proves guilt. Humans are deceivers. We know your kind. You say you want peace, but you send warriors into our ships. You cover yourselves in the blood of our soldiers and claim innocence." The Zorathian made its chiming sound again. When it spoke, its voice was cold and clear. "The evidence is clear. We found you standing over Commander Veleth's body. Your weapon had been fired. 3 of our security officers were dead nearby. You resist capture. You fight our guards. Now you sit here and refuse to speak. What conclusion should we reach?" Kate kept her eyes straight ahead. She could not tell them the truth, not yet. Not until she knew if there were more of them. More of the things that were not really Kreth or Vaxian or Zorathian. The things that could look like anyone. The Kreth warrior slammed one of its massive fists on the table. The metal bent slightly under the impact. "Answer us, human. How did you board this vessel? Why did you attack our crew?" Kate finally spoke. Her voice was rough from not drinking water for too long. "I was trying to save him." The 3 aliens went still. The Vaxian's arms stopped their constant motion for the first time. The Kreth leaned forward, and Kate could smell something like burning rubber coming from its mouth. "Save him?" the Kreth repeated. "You killed Commander Veleth. We saw his body. Your human weapon took his life." "No," Kate said. She met the Kreth's glowing eyes. "Check the body again. Really check it. That was not your commander," the Zorathian chimed loudly. "More human lies. We identified the body. It was Commander Veleth. His genetic signature matched. His implants matched. You are trying to confuse us." Kate shook her head. "Did you scan for cellular degradation? Did you check the molecular structure? That thing looked like your commander, but it was not him. It was something else. Something that can change its shape." The Vaxian made a clicking sound that the translator did not convert to words. It moved around the table, all 6 arms now pointing at Kate from different angles. "Shapeshifters are myth. Old stories to scare young ones. They do not exist. They exist," Kate said. Her voice was flat and certain. "I killed 3 of them. They were on your ship. They might still be on your ship. That's why I can't tell you everything. Not yet. Not while they might be listening." The Kreth warrior grabbed the front of Kate's armor with 2 of its hands and lifted her and the chair off the ground. "You think we are fools? You spin fantasy stories to avoid justice. You killed our people and you will answer for it." Kate did not resist. She let herself hang there in the alien's grip. The movement made her chest piece shift, and light from the overhead panels hit it at a new angle. For a moment, something on the dented metal caught the light and seemed to glow. The Kreth threw her back down. The chair hit the floor hard enough to make Kate's teeth click together. Last chance, human. Tell us the truth or we will extract it from you in ways you will not enjoy. Kate took a breath. Her ribs hurt. Everything hurt. She had been fighting for 2 days straight with almost no rest. She had lost the man she was supposed to protect. She had killed things that wore the faces of people. She had crashed through the hull of an alien ship and fought her way through their security just trying to make them listen, and now they wanted to torture her for trying to help them. My name is Corporal Kate Morrison, she said slowly. I serve in the Human Colonial Marines. 2 days ago I was part of a rescue mission. We received a distress signal from a diplomatic vessel. When we arrived, the ship had been torn apart. Everyone was dead or dying. I went after the escape pod because someone important was inside. I got him out. I tried to save him. What diplomat? The Zorathian asked. Its voice had changed slightly, becoming less cold. Admiral Christopher Miller, Kate said. He was on his way to meet with your coalition, to discuss peace terms, to try and end the fighting between our people. His ship was ambushed, not by your forces, by something else, the same things that I found on your ship. The Vaxian's eyes all focused on Kate at once. Admiral Miller, the human peace envoy. We were expecting his arrival. He never came. He never came because he died, Kate said. Her voice cracked slightly. He died in my arms after we crashed into your hangar bay. His last words were about the mission, about making sure the peace talks happened, about making sure you knew that humans could be trusted. The Kreth looked at the other 2 aliens. Something passed between them that Kate could not understand. If Admiral Miller is dead, why did you not tell us immediately? Why fight our guards? Why resist? Because the things that killed him followed us here, Kate said. When I crashed into your hangar, some of them were already on board. They were pretending to be your people. When your commander Velith came to investigate the crash, one of them tried to kill him. I stopped it. I killed it. Then I killed 2 more when they tried to stop me from protecting your real crew. This story is impossible, the Zorathian said, but its voice did not sound as certain as before. Check the bodies, Kate repeated. Use whatever scanning technology you have. Look at the cellular structure. Look at how the tissue is breaking down. Normal bodies don't degrade that fast. These things, whatever they are, they can hold a shape for a while. But once they die, they start to fall apart. Your doctors should have noticed by now. The Vaxian turned to the Zorathian. Its arms made quick gestures, the crystal being chimed in response. The Kreth warrior crossed its forearms and stared at Kate with those burning orange eyes. We will check, the Zorathian said finally. If you are lying, if this is some human trick, you will wish we had killed you quickly. I'm not lying, Kate said. She was so tired. She just wanted to sleep. Or to stop thinking about Admiral Miller's face as he died. I'm trying to save your crew from the same things that killed mine. The 3 aliens left the room without another word. The door sealed behind them with a hiss of pressurized air. Kate was alone in the bright white space. She looked down at her chest piece again. The dent was deep right over her heart. In the center of the dented metal there was a mark. It looked like someone had pressed something hot against the armor and melted it into the surface. Kate closed her eyes. She could still feel the heat of the plasma torch. Could still see Admiral Miller's shaking hands as he pressed his insignia chip against her armor. Could still hear his voice, weak and fading. Tell them I trusted you with everything, he had said. The mark on her chest was proof. It was an imprint of the Admiral's command code, burned into her armor at molecular level. It was his last order. His final act as an officer. He had given her his authority, his mission, and his trust. Kate just hoped these aliens would recognize it before they killed her for trying to help them. She leaned back in the chair and waited for them to return. There was nothing else she could do now. The truth was in the bodies. The truth was in the mark on her chest. Either they would believe her or they would not. She closed her eyes and thought about Admiral Miller, about his calm voice during the rescue, about his determination even as he was dying, about the way he looked at her and said that humanity's future depended on this mission succeeding. 48 hours earlier, the universe had been different. Kate Morrison sat in the cargo bay of the transport ship Liberty's Dawn, checking her equipment for the 3rd time. Her rifle was clean and loaded. Her armor seals were tight. Her oxygen supply was full. Everything was ready, but she checked anyway. It was what Marines did before a mission. Around her, 5 other Marines prepared their own gear. Sergeant Danny Cooper was the team leader, a veteran with gray in his hair and scars on his hands. He had been fighting in space for 15 years. Privates Amy Lewis and Greg Hayes were fresh from training, nervous and excited. Corporal Jake Preston was the team medic, quiet and careful. Private First Class Lisa Grant was their tech specialist, already mumbling to herself as she programmed her scanner. "Listen up," Sergeant Cooper said, his voice cutting through the noise of the cargo bay. "We got a distress signal from Admiral Miller's diplomatic ship. The peaceful horizon went dark about 3 hours ago. Last transmission said they were under attack. Unknown hostiles. We're going in fast looking for survivors and getting out." "Questions?" "What about the coalition forces?" Amy asked. "Aren't they supposed to be protecting the Admiral?" "The Admiral was in neutral space," Cooper explained. "Coalition escort ships were going to meet him at the border. He never made it that far. Whatever hit him hard and fast." Kate felt her stomach tighten. Admiral Miller was important, not just because he was high rank, but because he was carrying humanity's best offer for peace with the alien coalition. The war had been going on for 3 years. Thousands of people on both sides were dead. Resources were running out. Everyone was tired of fighting. Miller was supposed to change that. The ship shuddered as it dropped out of faster-than-light travel. The pilot's voice came over the speakers. "We're at the coordinates. You guys should see this." Sergeant Cooper pulled up a screen on the wall. The image made everyone go quiet. The peaceful horizon was torn apart. The diplomatic ship had been a beautiful vessel, painted white and gold, unarmed, to show peaceful intent. Now it was debris floating in space. Huge sections of the hull were missing. The engines were gone. Parts of the ship were still burning despite there being no air in space to feed the flames. Whatever fuel or chemicals were leaking out were providing their own oxygen. "Suits on," Cooper ordered. "Full seal. We're going in dark. Weapons ready, but do not fire unless you have a clear threat. We find survivors, we get them to the pods, and we run. Got it?" "Got it," the team said together. Kate pulled her helmet on and felt the seal engage with a soft hiss. Her heads-up display came alive with information. Oxygen levels, suit pressure, team positions. All green. The cargo bay door opened, and the void of space waited outside. They used their suit thrusters to cross from the Liberty's dawn to the wreckage of the peaceful horizon. Kate had done zero-gravity operations before, but flying through a debris field of a destroyed ship was different. Pieces of hull drifted past. She saw a chair tumbling slowly, a section of wall with a painting still attached. Personal items from people who had been alive just hours ago. "Spread out," Cooper ordered. "Check for escape pods. Check for life signs. Amy and Greg, take the forward section. Jake and Lisa, check engineering. Kate, you're with me on the command deck." Kate followed Cooper through a hole in the hull where a door used to be. Inside the ship, the damage was worse. The lights were out except for emergency strips that still glowed red. Everything not bolted down was floating, including bodies. Kate counted 4 crew members in the first corridor. None of them had made it to suits in time. Their faces were frozen in expressions of surprise and fear. "Keep moving," Cooper said quietly. "Nothing we can do for them now." They pushed through the ship toward the command deck. Kate's scanner showed no life signs. The ship was dead. Everyone on board was dead. They found the Admiral's quarters. The door had been blown inward by an explosion. Inside, everything was destroyed. Papers and data pads floated in the air like strange snow. "Sergeant," Lisa's voice came over the radio. "I've got something. The escape pod bay. 1 pod launched, recent, within the last hour. Location?" Cooper asked. "Transmitting coordinates now. It's about 2 kilometers from our position." "But Sergeant, the pod's been damaged. It's venting atmosphere." Kate felt her heart speed up. "How long does it have?" "Minutes," Lisa said. "Maybe less." "Cooper to Liberty's dawn," the sergeant called. "We need immediate pickup and pursuit of escape pod. Sending coordinates now." The pilot's response was tense. "Negative, Sergeant. We've got incoming. Unknown ships. Multiple contacts. They're armed and they're heading right for us." "How long until they reach us?" Cooper asked. 5 minutes. Maybe 4. "You need to get back here now." Kate looked at her scanner. The escape pod was 2 kilometers away. Their transport ship was 1 kilometer in the opposite direction. Even at full thruster speed, they could not reach both in time. If they went back to the ship, whoever was in that pod would die. If they went to the pod, they might not make it back before the hostile ships arrived. Cooper, I can make it, Kate said. Give me the coordinates. I'll get to the pod. Negative, Cooper replied. Too risky. We don't even know if anyone's alive in there. It's the Admiral's escape pod, Kate said. It launched from his private bay. Who else would it be? Sir, if Admiral Miller is in that pod, we can't leave him. Cooper was quiet for a moment. Kate could see him thinking through his helmet. The mission was rescue and extraction, but the mission was also not getting his team killed. If you go alone, you'll be stranded, Cooper said finally. The Liberty will have to jump away when those hostiles get close. You won't have a pickup. I know, Kate said. Give me the coordinates, Sergeant. Cooper sent the data to her display. You've got 4 minutes. Get there, grab whoever's inside and find somewhere to hide. We'll come back for you. I promise. Yes, sir, Kate said. She turned and pushed off from the wall, aiming herself toward the coordinates. Behind her, she heard Cooper ordering the rest of the team back to the transport ship. Kate flew through space faster than was safe. Her thrusters burned hot, pushing her beyond the recommended speed. The escape pod appeared in her display. It was small, designed for 1 or 2 people. The side was torn open and she could see air and fluids spraying out into space like fog. She grabbed the pod's handle and pulled herself to the damaged section. Inside, she saw a figure in a pressure suit. The suit was Admiral rank, marked with gold insignia. The faceplate was cracked. The person inside was not moving. Kate pulled out her emergency repair gel and sprayed it over the suit's cracks. The gel hardened instantly, creating a temporary seal. She checked the suit's status. Oxygen was critically low. Life signs were weak but present. The person was alive, barely. There was no time to be gentle. Kate grabbed the Admiral and pulled him out of the pod. She attached a tether from her suit to his and fired her thrusters again. She needed to find cover before the hostile ships arrived. Behind her, space lit up with weapons fire. The unknown attackers had reached the Liberty's dawn. Kate saw her transport ship returning fire, its guns creating streaks of light against the darkness. Then the Liberty jumped away, vanishing in a flash of distorted space. Kate and the Admiral were alone. The hostile ships were strange. They did not look like human vessels or like any coalition design Kate had seen in training. They were dark and organic-looking, as if they had been grown instead of built. They moved through the debris field searching for something. Kate aimed for the largest piece of the Peaceful Horizon's wreckage, a section of the engineering deck that was mostly intact. She and the Admiral crashed into it harder than she meant to, bouncing off the metal before she could grab hold. Her shoulder hit a jagged edge and alarms went off in her helmet. Her suit had been punctured. She ignored the warnings and dragged the Admiral into the wreckage, pulling him deep into the shadows where the hostile ships might not see them. She found a small room that still had 3 walls and no ceiling. Good enough. She propped the Admiral against the wall and looked at his suit status again. Critical. He was dying. His oxygen had run out completely. He was breathing the emergency reserve in his suit, and that would be gone in minutes. Kate made a decision. She disconnected her own oxygen supply and attached it to the Admiral's suit. Her heads-up display immediately started screaming warnings at her. She had maybe 10 minutes of air left in her suit's buffer. After that, she would suffocate. But the Admiral had a chance now. Kate opened his faceplate. The man inside was older, maybe 50, with gray hair and a face lined with years of command. His eyes fluttered open. Admiral Christopher Miller looked at Kate with confusion. Who? He managed to whisper. Corporal Kate Morrison, sir, she said. Colonial Marines. We got your distress call. I'm here to help. The Admiral coughed. His breathing was rough. The others? I don't know, sir. I'm sorry. Admiral Miller closed his eyes. When he opened them again, they were clearer. More focused. My ship? Destroyed, sir. You're in the escape pod wreckage. There are hostile ships outside. Unknown vessels. They're searching for something. For me, the Admiral said. They want the peace terms. The proposal I was carrying. Can't let them have it. Can't let this mission fail. Kate sat with the dead Admiral for what felt like hours but was probably only minutes. Her oxygen counter kept dropping. 8 minutes. 7 minutes. 6. She needed to move. Staying here meant dying next to Admiral Miller, and that would make his sacrifice meaningless. She gently closed the Admiral's eyes and pulled his body deeper into the shadows. It seemed wrong to leave him floating in space, but she had no choice. She checked her weapons. Her rifle was intact. Her sidearm was charged. She had 2 grenades left and a knife. Not much against hostile warships, but it was something. The hostile ships were still searching through the debris. Kate counted 5 of them, each one moving slowly through the wreckage like predators hunting for wounded prey. She watched one ship extend something that looked like a tentacle. The appendage grabbed a piece of hull and crushed it, scanning the fragments before tossing them aside. Her suit radio crackled. Kate almost jumped. The sound was unexpected, distorted like someone trying to speak through water. She could not make out words, just noise. Then it cleared for a moment. Human vessel detected. Eliminate. Eliminate. The voices were cold, mechanical. Not like any alien species Kate had studied. These things, whatever they were, did not want prisoners. They wanted everyone dead. Kate's oxygen counter hit 5 minutes. She needed a new plan. Her transport ship was gone. The hostile ships would find her eventually. The only chance was if someone else showed up. Coalition ships, maybe. They had been expecting Admiral Miller. When he did not arrive, they would come looking. As if answering her thoughts, space rippled. New ships appeared, dropping out of faster-than-light travel. Kate's scanner identified them. Coalition vessels. 3 cruisers and multiple fighter craft. They were marked with the symbols of the Kreth, Vaxian, and Zorathian fleets. The cavalry had arrived. The coalition ships immediately opened fire on the hostile vessels. Energy weapons lit up the darkness. Missiles streaked between the ships. The hostile vessels fought back with weapons Kate had never seen before. Beams of dark energy that seemed to eat light. Projectiles that split into smaller projectiles. It was chaos. Kate watched as one of the hostile ships exploded. The others scattered, trying to escape. The coalition forces pursued them. Fighter craft zipped past Kate's hiding spot, their engines leaving trails of blue light. For a moment, she thought the battle would move away from her. Then everything went wrong. A coalition missile went wide. It struck a large piece of debris near Kate's position. The explosion sent a shockwave through the wreckage. Kate felt the metal around her shudder and break apart. She tried to grab something solid, but her damaged suit made her movements clumsy. The floor disappeared beneath her. Kate tumbled through space, spinning uncontrollably. Her thrusters fired automatically, trying to stabilize her, but they were damaged too. She spun faster. The universe became a blur of stars and explosions and ship hulls. Her stomach lurched. Her vision darkened at the edges. She was going to pass out. The spinning was too much. Her inner ear could not handle it. She tried to focus on breathing, but breathing was hard when you had almost no oxygen left. Her counter hit 2 minutes. Through the spinning, Kate saw something huge approaching. One of the coalition cruisers. She was going to crash into it. She tried to fire her thrusters to change course, but nothing happened. The systems were completely dead now. She could only watch as the ship's hull rushed toward her. The impact should have killed her, should have broken every bone in her body. But Kate hit at an angle, glancing off the smooth metal surface of the cruiser. She bounced like a stone skipping on water. Once, twice, 3 times. Each impact rattled her brain and made her teeth click together. Then she saw an opening. A hangar bay door was open. She was heading right for it. Kate sailed through the opening and hit the hangar floor. This time, gravity caught her. The coalition ship had artificial gravity inside. Kate fell hard, her armor clanging against the metal deck. She rolled and tumbled. Hit a wall. Everything hurt. Her vision swam. She thought she heard alarms blaring. She forced herself to breathe, in, out, in, out. The oxygen counter on her display blinked red. 1 minute. Less than 1 minute. She reached up and tore her helmet off. The air in the hangar was thin and smelled strange, like chemicals and something sweet. But it was air. She gasped it in. Around her, the hangar bay was in chaos. The coalition ship was still in battle. She could hear weapons firing somewhere above, feel the vibrations of impacts through the floor. Emergency lights flashed red and white. Automated systems screamed warnings in languages Kate did not understand. She tried to stand. Her legs did not want to work. She got to her knees and looked around. The hangar was empty except for a few small fighter craft secured to the walls. No crew members visible. That was strange. Coalition ships always had crew in the hangar bays. Always. Kate heard a sound behind her. Footsteps. She spun around, reaching for her sidearm. A figure walked out of the shadows. It was tall and red. A Kreth warrior. The alien was armed with some kind of energy weapon. It pointed the weapon at Kate. "Identify yourself, human," the Kreth said. Its translator turned the words into flat English. "How did you board this vessel?" Kate raised her hands. "I'm not hostile. I crashed in, accident, my ship was destroyed. I need to speak to your commander." "It's urgent." The Kreth moved closer. Its orange eyes studied Kate. "You are armed. You are covered in blood. You claim accident. I do not believe you." "The blood isn't mine," Kate said. "Listen, I have important information. About Admiral Miller. About the peace mission. Your fleet needs to know." "Admiral Miller's ship was destroyed," the Kreth said. "We found the wreckage. No survivors." "You lie." "I was there," Kate said. "I spoke to the Admiral before he died. He gave me a message for your people." "Please, I need to speak to someone in command." The Kreth's weapon did not lower. "You will come with me. You will be detained until we verify your identity. If you resist, I will shoot you." "I understand," Kate said. She started to lower her hand. Something felt wrong. Kate had trained on Coalition species for months before the war started. She knew Kreth warriors. She knew how they moved, how they spoke. This one's movements were slightly off. Too smooth, too perfect, like someone copying behavior they had watched but not experienced. Kate's eyes dropped to the Kreth's feet. Coalition soldiers always wore boots, always. This Kreth's feet were bare. The skin on the feet looked wrong. Too smooth, like it was wet. "What unit are you with?" Kate asked carefully. "That is not your concern," the Kreth replied. "Standard protocol is to identify your unit when detaining a prisoner," Kate said. She was certain now. This was not a real Kreth. "So I'll ask again. What unit?" The thing wearing the Kreth's face hesitated. Just for a moment. That was all Kate needed. She drew her sidearm and fired. The energy bolt hit the fake Kreth in the chest. The alien staggered back. Its face showed surprise. Then its face started to melt. The skin rippled like water. The features blurred and ran together. The body lost its shape, becoming something fluid and horrible. Kate fired again and again. Each shot made the thing scream. The sound was nothing like a Kreth. It was high and sharp and filled with hate. The creature collapsed. Its body was melting into purple-black liquid on the hangar floor. Kate watched in horror as it dissolved completely, leaving only a foul-smelling puddle. Within seconds, even the puddle was evaporating. Kate heard more footsteps. Multiple people running toward her position. She spun around, weapon ready. A group of Coalition soldiers burst into the hangar. Real ones this time. She could tell by the way they moved. By their equipment. By their coordination. At the front of the group was another Kreth warrior. This one wore the insignia of a commander. Behind him were 3 Vaxian soldiers and 2 Zarathian guards. All of them had weapons pointed at Kate. "Drop your weapon," the Kreth commander shouted. "Drop it now." Kate looked at the puddle on the floor, looked at the armed soldiers. She had maybe 2 seconds to make them understand before they killed her. "Commander, listen to me. That thing was not one of your soldiers. It was a shapeshifter. An infiltrator. There might be more on your ship." "I said drop your weapon," the commander repeated. Kate slowly placed her sidearm on the floor. "My name is Corporal Kate Morrison. I'm human colonial marines. I was part of Admiral Miller's rescue mission. The Admiral is dead. Before he died, he warned me about these creatures. They can look like anyone. They're trying to sabotage the peace mission." The commander stepped forward. He looked at the puddle on the floor where the fake Kreth had been. "I knew that soldier. Warrior Krenix. He served under me for 2 years." "That was not Krenix," Kate said. "That was something pretending to be him. Sir, you need to scan your crew. You need to find out if there are more of these things." One of the Vaxian soldiers moved to the puddle and pulled out a scanning device. Its many eyes focused on the readout. "Commander," it said quietly, "this residue. It is not biological. Not any species we know. Molecular structure is unstable. Breaking down rapidly." The commander looked at Kate. "You expect us to believe that shapeshifters have infiltrated our ship? That they killed our people and took their places?" "Yes," Kate said simply. "That's exactly what I'm saying." "Impossible," one of the Zarathian guards said. Its crystalline body chimed. Kate lost track of time in the detention cell. There were no windows, no clocks, just blank walls and harsh light. She could feel the ship moving beneath her, could hear distant explosions that meant the battle was still going on. Or maybe those were more sabotage attacks, more shapeshifters destroying the coalition ship from the inside. She examined her armor while she waited. The dent over her heart was deep. The Admiral's insignia was melted into the metal, creating a perfect imprint of his command code. Kate ran her fingers over it. The edges were sharp. The metal was still slightly warm, even hours later. It would be permanent. This mark would stay in her armor forever, unless she cut out the entire chest piece. She heard footsteps in the corridor outside. Multiple people. The cell door opened. The Kreth commander stood there with 4 guards. His face was hard to read, but his body language showed stress. His forearms were tense. His breathing was heavy. "Come with me," he said. "Now." Kate stood and walked out of the cell. The guards surrounded her immediately. They walked through the ship in silence. Kate noticed changes. Fewer crew members in the corridors. More guards at every junction. Weapons at ready positions. The ship was on high alert. They entered what looked like a medical bay. The room was full of scanning equipment. In the center, on metal tables, were 3 bodies covered with sheets. A Vaxian medical officer was examining something on a display screen. The officer's 6 arms moved quickly between different controls. The commander pointed at the bodies. "Show her!" The medical officer pulled back the sheets. Kate looked at the bodies and understood immediately. They were not really bodies. They were dissolving. The flesh was breaking down into thick purple liquid. Bones were softening. Internal organs were collapsing into puddles. The smell was terrible, like rotting fruit mixed with chemicals. "We scanned the entire crew," the commander said. His voice was tight with barely controlled anger. "We found 7 more. 7 of my people who were not my people, all of them in key positions. Engineering, security, communications. These things were systematically destroying my ship from the inside." Kate looked at the dissolving bodies. "Have you checked the other coalition ships?" "Yes," the commander said. "They found infiltrators too. Not as many, but enough. Enough to cause chaos. Enough to make us suspect each other. If this battle had continued, we would have started fighting among ourselves. The infiltrators would have made sure of it." The medical officer spoke up. Its voice came through a translator. "The molecular structure is fascinating. These creatures can reshape their cellular composition to mimic any species. But the mimicry is not perfect. It takes energy to maintain. When they die, the cells break down rapidly. Within hours, there is no physical evidence left." "Except for the residue," Kate said. "Yes," the medical officer confirmed. "The residue has a unique signature. We can detect it now. We are scanning every centimeter of the ship for traces." The commander looked at Kate. His orange eyes were still angry. But there was something else now. Uncertainty. "You tried to warn us. You killed 3 of these creatures. You saved some of my crew." "I was trying to save all of your crew," Kate said. "I'm still trying." "Why?" the commander asked. "Why do you care? Humans and the coalition have been at war for 3 years. Many on both sides have died. Why risk your life to save us?" Kate touched the dent on her chest. "Because Admiral Miller asked me to. Because he believed peace was possible. Because he gave me his mission when he died. And because these creatures, whatever they are, they want us all dead. Human and coalition alike. If we keep fighting each other, we're doing exactly what they want." The commander was quiet for a moment. "What was your rank?" "Your position?" "Corporal," Kate said. "Marine infantry. Basic training." "Nothing special. You fought through my ship, killed 3 infiltrators in close combat, identified 7 more just by watching them move. For someone with basic training, you are very effective." "I pay attention," Kate said simply. "And I've been fighting these things for 2 days. You learn fast or you die." The Vaxian medical officer made a clicking sound. "Commander, you should see this." It pulled up something on the main display. The image showed a scan of Kate's chest piece. The dent, the melted metal. The imprint. This is Admiral Miller's command code. Perfectly preserved. The heat signature suggests it was created with a plasma torch at very close range. The Admiral did this himself. The commander leaned forward, studying the image. "Why would he do that?" "Because he knew I would need proof," Kate said. "He knew nobody would believe a random corporal claiming to speak for an admiral. So he gave me his authority, his trust. He burned it into my armor so it could not be faked or removed. This code gives you access to classified human military systems," the medical officer said. "It would take months to earn this kind of clearance. He gave it to you in his last moments. He gave me a mission, Kate said, to finish what he started. To make the Coalition understand that humans want peace, that we can be trusted. The commander crossed his upper two arms. Trust is earned through actions, not through imprints on armor. Then judge me by my actions, Kate said. I crashed onto your ship. I could have hidden. Could have tried to escape. Instead, I fought your infiltrators. I warned you about the threat. I helped you save your crew. What more do you need? Before the commander could answer, alarms blared again. A voice over the speakers spoke urgently in the Kreth language. The commander's face changed. He barked orders at his guards and ran out of the medical bay. The guards grabbed Kate and dragged her along. What's happening? Kate asked. Command deck, one of the guards said. Another infiltrator. It is trying to access the ship's main systems. They ran through the corridors. Kate's legs burned. She was exhausted, running on nothing but adrenaline. They reached the command deck. The doors were sealed. Through the window, Kate could see chaos inside. A figure stood at the main control console. It looked like a Zorathian crystalline body glowing with inner light. But the movements were wrong. Too fluid, too fast. Around it, 3 Coalition officers lay on the floor, not moving. Dead or unconscious, Kate could not tell. Can you open the door? Kate asked. Security lockdown, the commander said. That thing locked us out. It is accessing our weapon systems. If it succeeds, it could turn our guns on the other Coalition ships. It could destroy the entire fleet. Kate looked at the door. It was thick metal designed to withstand attacks. There was no way to force it open quickly. Through the window, she could see the fake Zorathian typing commands into the console. Whatever it was doing, it was almost finished. Your ventilation system, Kate said suddenly. Does it connect to the command deck? The commander looked at her. Yes, but the vents are too small for a Kreth or Vaxian. I'm smaller, Kate said. I can fit. Show me how to get there. The commander hesitated only a moment. Then he pulled up a schematic on a wall display. Here, this access panel. The vent runs directly to the command deck. But you will have no backup. No support. I know, Kate said. Give me a weapon. One of the guards handed her an energy rifle. It was designed for Kreth hands too big for Kate, but she could manage. The commander led her to the access panel. His guards pried it open. Inside was a narrow shaft barely wide enough for Kate's shoulders. If you die in there, I cannot retrieve your body, the commander said. If I die in there, your fleet dies too. Kate replied, so I better not die. She crawled into the vent. The space was tight. Her armor scraped against the metal walls. She could hear air moving around her, smell the recycled atmosphere of the ship. Behind her, she heard the guard seal the access panel. She was alone in the dark. Kate moved forward. The vent twisted and turned. She had to drag herself on her elbows. The rifle kept catching on the walls. Her breathing echoed loudly in the enclosed space. She tried not to think about being stuck, about suffocating in a metal tube. After what felt like hours but was probably minutes, she saw light ahead. A grate. Through the holes, she could see the command deck. The fake Zorathian was still at the console. Its fingers moved across the controls like water flowing over stone. Kate positioned herself behind the grate. She could not get a good angle with the rifle. The space was too tight. She would have to open the grate and drop down. Surprise would be her only advantage. She counted down from 3. On 1, she kicked the grate. It flew across the room and hit the wall with a loud clang. The fake Zorathian spun around impossibly fast. Its face showed surprise, then anger, then something else. Something hungry. Kate dropped through the opening. She hit the ground and rolled. The fake Zorathian's hand transformed into something sharp. It slashed at the space where Kate had been a second before. The claws cut through metal like paper. Kate came up firing. The energy rifle was heavy and awkward in her hands. The first shot went wide. The second hit the creature in the shoulder. Purple liquid sprayed from the wound. The thing screamed. That same high, sharp sound Kate had heard before. The fake Zorathian's body started to blur. It was changing shape, growing larger. More arms appeared. Its mouth opened too wide, showing teeth that spiraled down like a tunnel. Kate kept firing. Each shot made the creature stagger, made it scream, made it leak more of that purple blood. They brought Kate back to the interrogation room, not as a prisoner this time, but because it was the most secure location on the ship. The medical officer had treated her wounds. 3 broken ribs, Dislocated shoulder, burns across her back, dozens of cuts and bruises. The officer had offered her pain medication, but Kate refused. She needed to stay alert, needed to think clearly. The commander, who Kate had learned was named Torvin, stood with her. He had ordered guards posted outside the door, not to keep Kate in, but to keep everyone else out. Until they knew how many infiltrators remained on the ship, nobody could be trusted completely. The other ships have confirmed similar findings, Torvin said. He was reading reports on a datapad. 17 infiltrators total across the fleet, all eliminated or identified. But intelligence suggests these creatures have been operating for months, perhaps years, sabotaging diplomatic missions, causing accidents, making both sides suspect the other of treachery. Kate sat in the same chair where she had been interrogated hours before. It felt like a lifetime ago. They wanted the war to continue, wanted us killing each other. But why? Torvin asked. What do they gain? I don't know, Kate admitted. The Admiral said they were trying to steal the peace proposal. Maybe they work for someone else, someone who profits from the war. Or someone who wants both our civilizations weakened, Torvin suggested. Easy targets for conquest once we have destroyed each other. Kate nodded. It made sense. A third party playing both sides. Starting conflicts, preventing peace, watching humanity and the coalition burn themselves out. It was a strategy as old as warfare itself. The door opened. A Vaxian officer entered, followed by a Zorathian. Both wore the insignia of high command. Torvin stood and gave a formal salute. The Vaxian's 6 arms returned the gesture. Commander Torvin, the Vaxian said. Its translator turned the words into precise English. I am Fleet Commander Nexus. This is Strategic Coordinator Lumex. We have reviewed your reports. Reviewed the evidence. We have questions. Of course, Commander, Torvin said. This is Corporal Kate Morrison. Human colonial marines. She is the one who discovered the infiltrators. Nexus's multiple eyes all focused on Kate at once. It was unsettling. You are the human who crashed into our flagship. Who killed our soldiers? Who claimed they were not really our soldiers? Yes, Kate said. That's me. Your actions caused significant damage to this vessel, Nexus continued. You destroyed our command console. You discharged weapons in pressurized sections. You violated dozens of coalition military laws. Kate waited. She had a feeling there was more coming. You also saved the ship, Nexus said. Saved the fleet. Prevented what could have been the complete destruction of coalition forces in this sector. The loss of life would have been catastrophic. Thousands dead. The war extended for years. All prevented because you refused to give up. The Zorathian Lumex chimed softly. Its crystalline body reflected the room's lights and patterns that seemed almost hypnotic. We must discuss Admiral Christopher Miller. His ship was destroyed 3 days ago. We have recovered some debris, found evidence of the same infiltrators, but we found no body. No remains. You claim you spoke with him. I did more than speak with him, Kate said. I tried to save him. I failed. Tell us what happened, Nexus said. Everything. From the beginning, Kate told them. About the distress signal, about finding the peaceful horizon torn apart, about reaching the Admiral's escape pod, about giving him her oxygen, about the mysterious ships that hunted them, about the Admiral's final moments, about his last words and his last act. When she described how the Admiral had burned his insignia into her chest piece, all 3 coalition officers leaned forward. That is a serious claim, Lumex said. To carry an Admiral's command code. To claim his authority. This is not done lightly in human military culture, yes? No, Kate said. It's not done at all normally. But the Admiral was dying. He needed someone to finish his mission, someone to carry proof that he trusted humans to keep their word. May we examine your armor? Nexus asked. Kate stood and moved into the light. The overhead panels were bright. She positioned herself so the light hit her chest piece directly. All 3 coalition officers stepped closer. Their scanners came out. Nexus ran its device over the dent. The metal has been subjected to extreme heat, Nexus reported. Approximately 3,000 degrees. Consistent with a plasma torch. The molecular structure shows an embedded object. Appears to be a human command insignia chip. Lumex added its own scan. The chip's code signature matches Admiral Christopher Miller. Command Authority Level 9, among the highest in human military hierarchy. This chip grants access to classified systems. Strategic planning, fleet movements, diplomatic communications. The Admiral would never give such access to an enemy, Nexus said thoughtfully. He would destroy the chip rather than let it be captured. Yet he pressed it into this human's armor. Made it permanent. Why? Kate touched the dent. Because he believed in the mission more than he believed in protocols. Because he knew I would need proof. Because in his last moments he chose to trust me with everything that mattered to him. Torvin spoke up. There is another significance. In Kreth culture, to mark someone with your symbol is to claim them as family. As blood, it is the highest honor. The Admiral may not have known this, but his action speaks across species. He declared this human as his inheritor, his legacy. The 3 coalition officers looked at each other. Something passed between them. Some unspoken communication. Finally, Nexus turned back to Kate. We have analyzed the infiltrators' remains. Their technology suggests an unknown civilization. Advanced, hostile. They have been manipulating both our peoples for their own purposes. The war was never about territory or resources. It was about keeping us weak, divided. So what happens now? Kate asked. Now we must rebuild trust, Lumex said. Its chiming voice sounded almost sad. 3 years of war, thousands dead on both sides, cities destroyed, families torn apart, all because we believed lies, because infiltrators made us see enemies instead of potential allies. The Admiral believed peace was possible, Kate said. He was coming here to prove it. To offer terms, to start negotiations. That mission shouldn't die with him. Nexus's arms moved in a pattern Kate was starting to recognize as thoughtfulness. You carry his authority, his command code. In human military structure, this means you speak for him. Legally, officially. Kate felt her stomach drop. I'm just a corporal. I don't know anything about diplomacy or peace negotiations. I'm not qualified. The Admiral made you qualified when he burned his mark into your chest, Torvin said. He chose you. That choice must be honored. But I don't know what the Admiral was going to propose, Kate protested. I don't have the details of the peace plan. The details do not matter, Lumex said. What matters is the gesture. The Admiral sent his inheritor to us. Someone who fought for us, bled for us, saved us. Someone wearing his trust like armor. That speaks louder than any treaty document. Nexus moved closer to Kate. Its 6 arms reached out. For a moment, Kate tensed, unsure what was happening. Then the Vaxian placed all 6 hands gently on Kate's shoulders. It was a gesture of respect. Of acceptance. Corporal Kate Morrison, Nexus said formally. On behalf of the Coalition of Free Species, I recognize your authority as inheritor of Admiral Christopher Miller's mission. I recognize the sacrifice you have made, the courage you have shown, the trust you have earned. If humanity sends more like you, more who value peace over pride, then perhaps this war can truly end. Lumex chimed in agreement. The Coalition Command will need to vote. We'll need to discuss terms, but I will advocate for immediate ceasefire, for opening formal negotiations. The Admiral died trying to bring us together. The least we can do is honor his memory by listening to what humanity offers. Torvin stepped forward. He placed one of his large hands over the dent in Kate's armor. Over the Admiral's mark. In Kreth tradition, when one warrior falls, another must carry their banner. You carry Admiral Miller's banner now. Not just his command code, but his dream, his hope. You will speak at the Coalition Command Assembly. You will tell them what happened. You will show them this mark, and you will make them understand that some things are worth fighting for, and some things are worth stopping a fight for. Kate looked at the 3 alien officers, at their different forms, different faces, different species, but all of them showed the same thing in their expressions and body language. Respect, hope, and maybe, just maybe, trust. I don't have a speech prepared, Kate said. I don't know what to say to your command assembly. Tell them the truth, Nexus said. Tell them about the Admiral's last words, about his last act, about what he believed was possible. Truth needs no preparation. Kate took a deep breath. Her ribs hurt. Her shoulder ached. Every part of her body screamed for rest. But she nodded. All right, I'll speak. I'll tell them everything. But I need something from you first. Name it, Torvin said. When my ship comes back for me, when the Liberty's dawn returns, I need you to not shoot at it. I need safe passage, and I need to send a message to my command. They need to know the Admiral is dead. They need to know the mission is still alive. Agreed, Nexus said immediately. We will arrange secure communication. Your superiors will be informed.